Man, this series gave me back-to-back 2 chapters with very weird paneling, and I'm so happy. I mentioned in the last chapter, I really like it when authors, like artists in general, rather, I think better, when they do comics and across any medium, like doesn't matter what country it's from, where they'll do like a really weird panel, like just the way that the panel works and it's set up, it looks very strange, and it's just generally different. Like last week we had the one where it was in the shape of one of Puppet Master's like little dolls, like paper dolls. I thought that was just really cool. And then we got this one, and then like a further like the actual reveal on who Puppet Master was. I like the really tall version. I thought she was just really spooky the way that she loomed over people, because she had to be like 7, 8 feet tall. Like she and on top of that, it's not just that she's tall, she's like tall without being proportionally set up to that height, so she just looks spooky. But like the chapter opens, we have Kenma, and obviously like he protected one of his Tengu, and you see like him have like a moment where he's like explaining how he protects them because they've been with him his whole life, so he treats them like family. They're like his brothers, and I like that because even if it's not like they're the same as like the level of intelligence as like a person. It doesn't look like they really talk, or they're kind of goofy. But I imagine to him, they're like pets almost, that like you would think like a little bit more higher of, and because they're like they're like parrots. I feel like they're like slightly smarter parrots or something, but with powers and stuff. But I mean, like if he's been with them for years, he's gonna obviously be attached to them. Like they're gonna be close. They've been through a lot, I would imagine. So him protecting them and like seeing them as like to him as brothers, I really like that. I thought that was a really nice moment for him in general, and it helped get an understanding of his character and how he views things. And so far, he's my favorite in the series. I like him. I like his power. I think his cool like spear, his like sick like weird wing spear looks like badass from his staff. And he even does a lot more cool stuff in this chapter. And then there's something set up that I'm very curious as to like how long until we're gonna see Kenma do it, because there was a noting of it in this chapter from Kondo when he saw her do it. Like she brings out her weird dog, or I don't know what I can't remember, or a Gukin or whatever, the chained dog, and it bites onto her. Like she's back up, she's able to get back to her feet, and she's using, like she says, trance, and she like merges with them and has like a hybrid form. She's got like these bladed fingers, and she's got like these dog ears made of energy. She's wearing the collar with chains, got these like dark eyes, and she like even Puppet Master mentions that she's much stronger and she's shown to be much faster. So there's merging techniques with their phantoms, I think is really cool. I want to see that for sure on Kenma, and him bust him out, because he'll probably look like, he'll probably get like some cool like robe at some point, kind of like some like high level Tengu with his spear, and just be a monster. Like I'm guessing there's level degrees on this, where it's not just okay, this is it. Like there's just one stage. Like maybe this is level 1 to trance of like merging with your phantoms. But she's like going in, doing all these attacks on Puppet Master. Puppet Master is just doing what she can to defend, and there's just like a very fast-paced action battle at that point. And then Kenma's just like reading it and describing, it's like saying it's like she's enveloped herself in doing these power, therefore strengthening her entire body. Like it's a very high stress ability. Like clearly it's a high level move, and it's not something that I would imagine that if you're a master of this, it's probably like just fine to beat it, and it's not going to do as much strain, because we haven't seen any big people in this series fight yet. But this just seems one of those powers that like you have to master it in order to use it properly, because she's only had it for like a couple panels and she's already got blood coming out of her mouth and coming out of her nose. So hyping that like outright, like I think that's going to be really cool to see it demonstrated amongst other characters, if they can all have this, and characters can just have these cool fusion modes with their phantoms. It'd be like, it's kind of like, actually I was going to say Pokemon, but it's closer to like Digimon Tamers, the best Digimon season, to where like eventually they biomerged and they merged with their Digimon. I think that's a really solid kind of just general end area for like power systems and stuff in this series, with them summoning phantoms they can eventually fuse with them. And Kenma's like saying he should be able to do that too, but he's more of wrapping himself in the divine energy. He's not using trance, and he like when he uses it, he like just gets up in the air, and it looks like he forms like a really big version of the Tengu of like the way that they are in general, like the big ball with the nose, but the nose in this case is a spear, and he uses it like he comes down for just like a general big attack. And what he does, it's actually really smart, is he used that as like a distraction. Like he attacked, knew she was going to dodge, and he sent his Tengu underground to where they would come up underneath Puppet Master and hit her for an attack. And so I think that was really cool. I thought that just generally was like a really neat move for him to have. And it's not the same as him having that trance, but it looks to be him like kind of evolving mid-battle, and maybe it'll work up to the way that he's going to do it. Because I don't think he had this attack beforehand. This seems like something he just thought of. Like, you know, obviously seeing somebody beside him, adjacent to him, and being able to develop a new technique in the, you know, the midst of battle, I really liked. But after that point, we have Puppet Master just seemed like she's gonna start fighting seriously, and a hand just comes out of the out of her body, because it reveals that this tall one is just a doll that she's controlling. And she's got one of those hands that's like a Senju Doji hand, where it's made of a bunch of small hands. I was wondering like what exactly they were gonna like be different about them, but I guess like it does make sense if each of them is gonna have one of these spooky Senju Doji hands, because it would, you know, like we saw the last guy do it, but I didn't know if maybe that was just his thing, or if like that's just how Senju Doji works in bestowing power onto people. But you get this small like little girl come out, and she's got like the big spooky hand, but she's got a knife in one hand and a doll of Iori, or not Iori, of Kenma. So I'm guessing Iori's gonna have to show up soon, and maybe he'll do the trance ability and like merge with Ongyoki, and, you know, be able to fight against Puppet Master, or at least they'll be able to team up to fight her, because clearly she's a big deal. We don't know how high in the food chain she is still. Like, we don't even, like, I don't think it's still been clarified if she's the member of Senju Doji's group that fought against Yayoi at some point and lived. I don't think so. I'm guessing it's the one, like the extra mysterious one that hasn't really been shown. And the only hype we have on Puppet Master on this one is like she just got hit by Kenma's attack and then came out, and it's like, okay, now she's fighting seriously. And like this one, like she's not even damaged. Like she's perfectly unscathed. So Iori, I think, has to get up, like re-energized and ready to fight, and like ready just to go all out, because Kenma and Kondo, or is it, God, I think it's Konda and not Kondo. It's funny, it's like I've been saying how I've been trying to memorize everyone's names, but like I was calling her, I think, Kondo, but I think she's Konda. Yeah, no, she is Kondo. I just went back and looked. She's Kondo. I've been right this whole time. I thought for some reason it was Konda, and I kept saying Kondo, because I was like, her name is really easy to remember, because it's just think of the word Kondo. But they're gonna have to show up. Like, if it's a team fight, that I can still see that, and I'd like that. But I don't think that Kenma can do this on his own. Like, I really don't. He could surprise me, but at the same time, like, he's in such a bad spot. That fact that she is unharmed by him doing a move that he clearly is you know, shaken up from. I don't think that they have the energy in order to defeat her by themselves. I could be wrong, though. Maybe they do some cool combo, or you have maybe Kondo can like give up all of like the current power she has to like debuff. In order to buff Kenma, or Kenma can find a weakness in this situation, or maybe Yayoi can show up. I don't know. Either way, I'm pretty hyped to see this next chapter. I like these last couple chapters, because I didn't really like the last portion of the story with that last bad guy. Like, I like the stuff with Komachi. I can't remember her name exactly, just because I can't remember if it's Komaki or whatever her, like, the correct pronunciation of her name is. I liked her, but I wasn't a huge fan of the bad guy, and I didn't really care for that, like, that little mini piece of art, because for the most part, it was just setting up the stuff with, like, the actual strong members of Senju Doji's crew. And so I'm happy that what that arc is setting up is playing out better, because I do like the series, but I was like, last arc, I was just like, just waiting for it to be over in some aspects. But I've been very happy with what's been going on this one, and obviously, like, Kenma's become my favorite so far, so I've been very happy as these been playing out. And then the art, and as I've mentioned, the really unique paneling that has been in this chapter and the last one. Like, I really like this one, because it's done in a way that it's being ripped out of the dress, but because of the white dress, it looks like she's ripping out of the panel and looking at the reader, which I think is really cool. Anyway, other than that, though, comment below. Thumbs up the video, from the like button, subscribe button, and to check out my other videos. But other than that, I appreciate everyone's already subscribed, and thank you all for listening. Bye.